Hello, welcome back to Strange Horticulture. I am excited to continue our playthrough. It's a weird game. I don't imagine it's a very long game, but it's interesting. Let's jump right in. We may have we may have joined a cult. I really didn't want to. I accidentally may have joined it though. I'm hoping not. I want to help the witches. I think the witches are awesome. So that's my plan. Let's see if we can solve this first. Decay gives way to new growth. From death, life. The cycle starts again west of White Scar by the river. West of White Scar. This is always the hardest part. I don't know, it's the brown on brown. It's like, I don't see things sometimes. White Scar by the river. The sun bleached skull fixes me with its black eyed gaze. A reminder from the chest of the skeleton, a plant. Well, we gotta move that plant because I have a system ish. Sort of got a system. All right. Let the kitty start. Mail first. I've lived in Undermere all my life, and I've never seen the people as worried as they are now. I mean, fair. Something's going around slaughtering people. You kind of get upset about that. Everyone talking about the sisterhood and the servant. Somebody needs to do something to stop that beast. Let's see. I was speaking to a woman from Arnside who told me of a cave nearby and that the locals stay away from. Apparently, there's a strange plant that grows there, but the cave is believed to be haunted. Unfortunately, she was vague about where the cave was, somewhere to the east. Was all she would say when I pressed her, which is hilarious because that's going to be the White Scar cave that we just looked at. A thin crack runs down the rock face, widening as it nears the ground, just wide enough for a man to slip through. But there's a problem. A large boulder blocks the entrance, too heavy to move. We, I believe, have already. Let me just. No, we haven't. Okay, let's identify this. Farmer's right. Okay, so it's a mushroom. Spongy mushroom with potent abilities, only safe to consume in small quantities. Grants great strength for short periods at the expense of severe fatigue once the effect has worn off. I may have identified it already. It happens when I label them myself instead of letting the game label them. I'm surprised at how easily I'm able to roll away the boulder, with the help of the farmer's worry. As my eyes adjust to the darkness, I discover several clusters of fungi growing there. Bleh. Reaching out desperately to the thin strip of light provided by the crack. Squishies! Alright, let's complete it. Very swift. Why can't I remember? There was something important. I know there was, but there's only darkness now. I don't remember who she is. Oh, right. She's a psychic. Faye grew up with her mother. Her father was rarely violent, but once is enough. When he struck her, it finally broke the hold he had over her mother, and she fled in the night. The sleeping Faye held close. Faye often has vivid dreams, but has never considered that other people do not. She came to Strange Horticulture seeking relief from her nightmares. Right, and we gave her instead a plant for her to focus on it so she could tell us what she saw. All right, let's see. Sour Bandy. I think we have used that for something. The Sour Bandy can help with memory recovery, especially if the memory has been deliberately sabotaged. The name of this plant derives from the fact that, although edible, the large stamen is extremely bitter to the taste. It might be this one. Yeah. Yay. It's coming back. It happened in a dream. The woman in the jade mask was screaming at me to get out. Instead, I went deeper. I entered the mind of the creature. Oh, that's bad. It was like slipping into a dark pool. It's icy cold with who knows what terrors lurking beneath the surface. I'm so sorry. I felt powerful. Then suddenly something happened. She tore me out and my mind went dark. I've not been myself lately. That's crazy. All right, let's move this over to the identified side. Who's next? Alden Gregory. My wife of 30 years is dying. That's the truth of it, as painful as it is to say out loud. Doctors say there's nothing they can do, but I cannot sit by and wait for it to happen. I understand. A man at the hospice let slip about a plant based elixir. I don't think he meant for me to hear it, but I did, and it's all I can think about. I understand the risk, but any price is worth paying if it means she doesn't have to die. Oh, it's going to be the elixir of the DM. Please, I'm begging you. That's not gonna end well, I'm sure. Althea O'Shea. What a delightful shop you have. I'm only in town for a brief visit, but I heard I might be able to get hold of some liver stone here. Liver stone. Gonna be a mushroom. Caution is advised when handling this plant due to the strong paralyzing agent contained within. The liver stone is a mushroom with pointed caps. Well, it's gonna be this one and not the glowy one. It's gonna say something about the fact that it glows. For the glowy one, I would imagine. These are in no kind of order. They're just grouped by identified and not identified. Oh, mask lady. I can't control it anymore. This has all gone too far. Yeah, you summoned something crazy. I never meant for it to turn on my sisters. It's too strong. I'm trying to hold it back, but it wants to kill. That's all it wants. Death, death, and more death. You have to help me. Widow's woe or dead man's fingers. Dead man's fingers, typically found in dense forest, protruding through the mulch. At a glance, it can appear as though a corpse is reaching out from the undergrowth, said to strengthen resolve and sharpen the mind. Or, what does widow's woe do? Said to induce fear, also called Kentfoot, partly due to its unpleasant scent. Dainty, dark flowers grew out from a bed of long, thin leaves. Well, we need the dead man's fingers, which I have actually already identified because they're little black penis mushrooms. These ones. Hollis Gibb. There has been talk over the last few nights down the Royal Oak of a servant creature going around slaughtering people. Crazy. I used to enjoy walking in the hills, but I daren't leave my house now. That's probably a good idea. I've decided to bring nature to me in the meantime. Okay, you looking for a plant? The glow of a few pixie lamps would surely warm my heart. I wonder if that's going to be the glowy mushroom. I don't have the page for that. Unless it's a nickname for something else. Andrew's Bane. Devil's Nightcap. Corpse Friend. Oh, it's Glowhorn. I'm dumb. I did not even look at that. The glowhorn, or forest lantern, or pixie lamp, is phosphorescent, illuminating the trees that it grows under. Suspicious travelers avoid walking towards it, fearing that the faint lights will lure them to their demise. Okay. Do we have... no. I don't know if we have anywhere we want to go. Where haven't we been? What if I go to this building here? Why did I come here? Nothing there. Okay. Well, we used our travel points. To the east of the castle, across the river, and through the mountain pass, it grows at the edge of the wood. She finally had the power she had craved all these years, the servant to do as she willed, but that power came at a cost. The servant was awoken, and it would not be contained. It was the Dendru, the dread. It was death. To the east of the castle, across the river, and through the mountain pass. Well, this is a castle. To the across the river, and through the mountain pass. Maybe. Is there another castle? This is a castle. There's not a mountain pass, though. This is a castle. This is a castle. There are several castles. East of the castle, across the river, and through the mountain pass. It grows at the edge of the wood. The trees sway effortlessly in the cool breeze. The low hum of crickets chirping rides the wind. A sense of calm washes over me, and I'm rewarded. Fun plan. Very cowardly. Pet the cat. Rules. Hey, Verona. It is time. The servant is on the move again. Time to act. Meet me at the ritual site. I hope for all our sakes that you've been able to track down all the plants we need. All right. Let me look at this. We need 5 plants. I don't, do we know which ones that we need? Said it's a dead ground near word. No. Oh, let's go and see what happens. The ritual site. The swing site? Oh, no, that's not the right place. My bad. We must act before it's too late. Meet me at the ritual site. Where's the ritual site? Oh, it's in the forest? Seems to be mortal. Blah, blah, blah. Just a few years ago. A site of ritual. Blackcomb. To the south of the Watcher, the Great Oak, and the Danger was ousted from this world. Oh, that's right. This is the plants. No. It's created near Blackcomb to the south of the Watcher. The Great Oak. And the Danger was ousted from this world. I mean, well, we know where Blackcomb is. But where is south of the Watcher? We'll get there. A small stone shrine sits off to one side of the clearing. 5 groups run out from the center of the stone, widening into recesses at the base. 5 slots for 5 plants. Okay, that's this. First is the corpse's friend. A reminder. I don't remember which one was called the corpse's friend. Um, no, not that one. Is it the widow's well? I feel like we looked at it recently. Kempfoot, no. Well, just gonna have to go look. Mm-hmm. Oh, was it Farmer's Warren? Mm-mm-mm. Devil's Nightcap. Plant is known colloquially as corpse's friend. If ingested as a seed, it will cause a slow, agonizing death, and the plant will grow out of the body once deceased. It has a light, pleasant scent, not dissimilar to pine needles. Boiling the root in vinegar creates a tonic against fevers and poisons. So, what's this one? Petals fall off easily. It says nothing about what we need. Reminds me of a pine forest. What did I say? Not dissimilar to pine needles. That should be corpse's friend. We hope. And then the ankle grabber, the binder. Mm-mm-mm. Ankle grabber. Is that going to be this one? It moves fast for a plant. It's got to be that one. I just want to find it. Binder, slip snare. Okay, so that's got to be that one. The binder, ankle grabber, and never let go are several of the names given to this plant that may give some clue as to its properties. Once ensnared, it is impossible to extricate oneself without help. Swift snare has small heart-shaped leaves. Yeah, it's got to be that one. Okay, and then third is the fear bringer. That was one we just looked at for her. Was that what ones was what were we looking at for her? That's corpse friends. the other one that we didn't give her? Widow's Woe? Said to induce fear, also called Kempfoot, partly due to its unpleasant scent. Dainty dark flowers grow out from a bed of long, thin leaves. Dark flowers. Damp smell. Dark red flowers. Maybe that one? This is nothing about the smell. That one's a sweet smell. That's fruit. I'm going to say it's that one. Fourth to lift a curse. I don't remember which one this is. We definitely gave it to somebody earlier in the game, but I don't remember. Diseases of the heart. Stomach pain. Hypothermia. It's for the dead. Skin rashes. Shielding effect. Dark magic. A successful hunt. Open any lock. Eye strain. Rejuvenation. Great courage. Cause the blood to slowly turn black. Sanctuary. Rejuvenating aching bones. Improve eyesight at night. Strength. Energy boost. Sleeping drops. Friendship. Digestive troubles. Poison. Poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. Dental hygiene. That one doesn't have anything. Of long and blessed lives. Memory. Pain relief. Point you towards someone. Memory deterioration. No. Curing afflictions with the heart. Drain a person's mental faculties. The truth sayer. Paralyzing agents. Lifts curses. Long vericund. Now see, if I organize these, I would know where this was. There it is. Long vericund. And then Black Blood's reverse. A pedal to secure Black Blood's reverse. Prevent the mind from wandering. Secrecy. Painful sores. Most pass unnoticed. Confidence and persuasiveness. focus, improve air quality, hallucinogen, gas stress and anxiety, die, uncover that which is hidden. Detect poison, release swift snare, good fortune, white purple light. I mean, I guess it could be the Solomon scepter, but I don't know for sure. Memory recovery, pain relief, hearing, poisonous, deter unwanted souls and spirits. Strengthen relationships. Leads to gold. Reduce fear. Hangover cure. Insect repellents. Easing symptoms of infection. And anxiety. I think we have to assume that it is Solomon scepter. The flower of the plant are commonly used in witchcraft. Black bloods for because that was the it said it was confused with the dendra poison. The dendra. Okay, it's got little leaves, little groupings of leaves, I guess. There it is. Other flowers. Let's hope that was right. Oh no, it wasn't right. 4 out of 5 correct plants. Black bloods reverse. I have to read a lot more because apparently I missed it. Diseases of the heart. Stomach pain, hypothermia, rashes. Successful hunt. Open a lock. Eye strain. Courage. Mind. We already have that one in here. Elevate their awareness. want the opposite of this one. Petals of the flower. This is the one that causes the blood to turn black. Embersol. Let's see. Improve eyesight, strength, energy boost, sleeping, friendship, digestive troubles, poison, dental hygiene, shrinks, will live long and blessed lives, memory. I feel like I'm definitely missing some. I mean, I'm obviously missing something. Memory. That's what I could use. Maybe that's not the one I have wrong, but it's the only one I'm like not sure of. We get it wrong again, we're gonna have to go fix our broken mind. I was already in there. Just pass unnoticed. Decorative plants. Confidence and persuasiveness. Sharp focus. Improve ear quality. Hallucinogenic properties. Gastric distress and reduce anxiety. To make dyes. Uncover that which is hidden. Detect poisons, which is not the same as reversing it. Memory recovery, relief pain, hearing, insanity, and death. Strengthen relationships, plants of gloom and despair and dark magic. In the twilight where shadows grow, take leaf and root. Now I have crow, plants of gloom and despair and dark magic. Well, that tells me nothing about what it does, so I'm gonna have to assume it's not it. Soothe insect bites and stings. Induce fear. Sacred plants. No. Fluid aloe, fruits hardy plants. Insect repellents. Maybe I don't have it. Which would be bad because I don't know where to go to get it. Um, maybe I misidentified one of those. Where did the... I forgot what it looked like. This one? Corpse's friend was the devil's nightcap. With a light, pleasant scent, not dissimilar to pine needles. Just gonna double check. Nothing else says it smells like pine though, so I think that's probably that one. And then, what was that one? Fearbringer, which yeah, induce fear. Dainty dark flowers grow out from a bed of long, thin leaves. Maybe it's this one? And pleasant scent. What does it say for this one? Damp smell. Somewhat pungent. That one smells like rhubarb, which I don't know what rhubarb smells like, but sweets. This one has an unpleasant scent, but the leaves don't look right. And the flowers are wrong. Maybe it's this one. No. 3 out of the 5 plants are correct. Oh, so those 2 were right. I messed up. Let me fix my brain. That was at the top. Solving puzzles, maybe. That one. I have it facing the wrong direction. Brain. Oh no! Fuck! I have to put the plants back. This was one. No, that's Stranthium. Fuck. Shit. Corpse's friend was Devil's Nightcap. If ingested as seed, it will cause a slow. So this one was correct, and this one was correct. Wait, sorry. Devil's Night. This, let's see, has light, pleasant scent, not dissimilar to pine needles. That was this one, right? Yeah. Okay. The ankle binder. first. That was the one. I don't remember which one. Oops. Did I have that? Is that this one? No. Shoot, dog. I don't know. I might have to look it up. I'm not above it. Damn it. I don't remember which one it was. I remember the other ones. This one? Believed to lift curses. All right. I'm going to quickly look it up because I need to know. Which one of mine is wrong? Oh. It's not Solomon's scepter. I got confused. It is this one that says, "Oh, I didn't I didn't read it all the way." I read this part where it says that it turns black, and I was looking for the opposite of that. That's my bad. I was on the right track. I just didn't read properly. Classic problem. What are you? Da, da, da. I have already identified it, so I literally just need to find it in my list here. Apart. My plants got moved around. Game. Elder Finium. Well done. I'll take it from here. I stand back and watch as Verona walks around the shrine, muttering soft incantations. It feels like a long time passes before she looks up, but in reality, it was probably 10 minutes. Nothing's happening. What do you mean nothing's happening? Have we got the right plants? I think so. Perhaps we just need to be patient. A loud noise behind us makes us all jump. Turning round, I see something that makes my blood run cold. The woman in the jade mask is walking calmly and slowly towards us from the other side of the clearing. Behind her, standing tall and terrifying, is the black silhouette of the servant. Ooh, gross. He's so enormous. That's what she said. What was that about being patient? I think we're out of time. Do not be afraid. I'm here to surrender willingly. The servant cannot be allowed to. Ah! The creature lunges forward and brings a huge arm scything towards her. Her scream pierces the cold air and she drops to her knees, clutching her head. But the blow seems to glance off to one side as it comes hurtling down, and the beast's claw ends up embedded in the dirt instead of the woman's back. I can't hold it back much longer. You need this. She It throws a small vial of red liquid, which Reuben deftly catches and holds up to the light. Blood. Quickly, I know what to do. Verona grabs the vial and fumbles to get the stopper out as she turns back to the shrine. The servant has its huge arm free again and is slowly advancing with strange jerking movements. Verona pours the blood into a small cavity in the shrine, and everything seems to happen at once. A pillar of bright white light launches out of the shrine towards the servant and hits it in the chest. The huge beast shrieks and staggers backwards, drowning out the screams of the woman in the jade mask who is clutching her head and writhing in agony on the ground. Oh, that was bright. There's an almighty thunderclap and a blinding flash of light, and suddenly the servant is gone. A patch of charred ground smolders where it stood just moments before. My head is spinning at what just happened. Did it work? Have we defeated the servant? Friday. With the dust settled and the servant vanquished, I have been able to reflect on the events of the last few weeks. We were fortunate that Thea was able to stay in control of the beast for as long as she did. Who can say what would have happened if she was unable to prevent it causing the destruction it craved? Undermare has never felt so jubilant, so full of life. All of the nervous tension that had built up evaporated in an instant, and the people have plowed their energies into celebration and merriment. They do not know the whole truth, of course, that Thea, the woman in the jade mask, was the one who summoned the servant. I promised Reuben that I would leave it to him to unravel the mess. She is his daughter, after all. Wild. And as for myself, well, I'm back in the calm of strange horticulture, of course, with Hellbore for company. Hellbore's the cat. It's quieter around here, but I am content, and there are always more plants to learn about and discover. That's a good ending. It's got to be a good ending. Ending number 2. It is done. The servant can go back to being a dark story for dusty shelves. The sleeping Dendro. Ending number 2, Elderfinium. And everybody is alive except, oh, Bethany got killed. Right, right. We lost quite a few of the witches. I forgot about that. Almost people are alive. So, Reuben Ward, the investigator, alive, attempting to reconnect with his daughter. Verona Green, the occult scholar, alive. She regularly visits you for advice. You become firm friends. Bethany Coleman, the sister, deceased, killed by the servant. Oh, I'm so sorry. Faye Swift, the psychic, alive. She has not dreamed of the servant since you performed the ritual. Ennis Aylford, the cultist, in hiding, has not been seen since the defeat of the servant. There are rumors he's living in Rydal Cave once again. Forrest Vare, the hunter, wounded. Both his body and his pride have been damaged, but he lives. Thea Ward, the woman in the jade mask, in hiding. Ashamed of her actions that caused so much pain and death, it is unlikely she will ever fully recover from the trauma. Well, I mean, you made some choices. Isidore Burbage, the barrister, alive. That guy was a jerk. Currently pursuing legal action against strange horticulture. That guy was a jerk. He was the one, I think, that punched a dog or something. And every time he was like, why do you have this cat here? Like, it's not your shop, my dude. Earlier. Have you ever heard of the Monastery of the Black Veil? I think it would interest you. Learned of it from a man from Ravenglass. If you're ever in that part of the world, you should ask him about it. He owns the Horseshoe Inn on Main Street. Okay, well, we got some things. Look, we can finish identifying plants. Okay. Have you ever heard of the Monastery of the Black Veil? Man from Ravenglass. Okay, Ravenglass. I don't remember ever seeing that on here, but clearly I'm blind. I am met by a man with a thick black beard and kind eyes who is delighted to have found a willing ear to listen to his stories. You won't find the monastery of the Black Veil marked on any map. They don't want to be found. The monastery was on the edge of a wood. I remember that much. We must have been heading west because I could feel the sun on my face and it was evening. We crossed 2 rivers, then we followed a river for a while. I could hear it to my left as we traveled. They left me here in Ravenglass, and I've stayed ever since. As I turn to leave, he adds, here, if you're serious about going, you'd better have this. Whoa, okay, Elixir of the Black Veil. No seed will grow that does not wither. No water will languish upon the river. No man will last forever. Hail, we will all wear the blackened veil. Leaf of the Storian, dark flower of the tomb, stench of the twilight. Okay, this one's done. We need this, and we need our book. Okay, so didn't mean to do it. The Storian. Dark red fruits. Well, there's only one left that has red fruits. That'll be the Storian. Dark flower of the two. It's going to be this one. To use in a fragrance, soap, and candles. I'm going to bet it's that one. Stench of the Twilight. What's the one called? Twilight something or other? Twilight Lepiota. In the twilight where shadows grow, take leaf and root and eye of crow, plant of gloom and despair and dark magic. Do not be fooled by the pretty flower. The smell it gives off is quite foul. Oh yeah. Okay, so these have been identified. Let's move them. Where did I put that? There it is. And then we gotta label this guy for a reason. Elixir of the Black Veil. All right. Okay, so now you won't find them. Okay, let's see if we can find this place. Nope. This one? You won't find the Monastery of the Black Veil marked on any map. They don't want to be found. The monastery was on the edge of a wood. We must have been heading west because I could feel the sun on my face and it was evening. We crossed the two rivers. Then we followed a river for a while. I could hear it to my left as we traveled. They left me here in Ravenglass, and I've stayed ever since. So, are we supposed to go reverse, like go east instead? If we go east from yeah, that makes sense. So if we go east from Ravenglass, he said they left. I could follow. They followed a river for a while. Crossed two rivers and east. So on the edge of a wood. So like here maybe. Three figures, their faces hidden behind black coverings, come out to meet me. The figure on the left speaks first. The monks of the Black Veil know of the horticulturist. Then the one in the center of the group adds, they will share their knowledge if they receive the payment. The final member of the trio stays silent. Well, we've got that. Gosh, more things. The third member of the trio accepts the elixir, and together they disappear into the monastery. Sometime later, they return with the stock. We got some plant book things. 5. Wow. I wonder if those are all the ones that I was missing. Right. Another thing solves. This is going to be something on the map. But let's see who's won. Simone Green. It's good to see you too, Hellbor. It has been a while. You seem as relaxed as ever, though. Nothing ever phases you, does it? Cats. I must admit, I've been buried in my books and seem to have missed all the excitement. How could you miss out on a thing trying to kill everybody? I hear you and your plants had a part to play, though. I've been collating some information on a selection of plants for a little book I'm putting together. She's going to help us finish identifying. Hoping you can help me finish identifying all of these plants. You got it. Start with the moonlight flower, Bella Knox. Page we just got. Bella Knox, the moonlight flower, dark, mysterious, and beautiful. has enchanted people for centuries. It is thought to send people mad with obsessive desire, seductively luring them to their deaths like a siren's call. Well, I mean, it's got to be that one. Spring wax cap. That is a mushroom, isn't it? It's the only one that made sense. Haverage. Some romantic soul once gave me a stem of Haverage. I think I offended the poor boy when I gagged on the scent. He took it as a bad omen. Haverage. Oops. Haverage. Pretty blue flowers line the stems of this sought after plant. It's said that if you give Haverage to your beloved under the light of a full moon, you will both live long and blessed lives. That's going to be this one. Yeah. So Haverage. Fool's Midnight. Used by some as an aphrodisiac, though the potent sulfuric aroma is enough to put off most. This dark mushroom has a fleshy underbelly, said to have a unique, sharp taste that is brave enough to try it. It's going to be that one, so it's the only mushroom I have left. Also, it's black, so that makes sense. Ooh, Dimmel sounds nice. I wonder if that's what Mum puts in her tea. I've often thought she must have a secret ingredient that makes it extra soothing. This unremarkable flower is related to the common thistle. Its leaves are occasionally brewed into a tea that is used to calm anxiety. A bland smelling flower. Mailing it. Not that there's much left to choose from, but Lesser Meridoc. I don't know that one. The round flower head of the Meridoc is made up of smaller yellow florets. That's going to be this one. A single drop of the strong smelling sap from this plant can utterly drain a person's mental faculties, rendering them slow and uncomprehending. Sounds dangerous. It says here the umbrella smells of strawberries. There are so many conflicting aromas in this shop, I can't pick it out. I know which one it is, but I want to read the entry. A powerful balm against diseases of the heart. It will not be a cure once illness has set in, but it can ease pain and prolong life. Umbrella has long, rounded leaves and a flower that smells of strawberries. Never even heard of Avulum. The scent it produces is considered overpowering by some, but it is said to stimulate the senses and rejuvenate aching bones. Avulum has many short, pretty leaves. We're getting it. 6 more. Pennybell next. The leaves of the pennybell are chewed by some for their hallucinogenic properties. However, it's highly addictive and can lead to sickness and death. Probably this one. Flowers look like little bells. My mother often uses burdock leaves in her cooking. She's too stubborn for superstitions. Thick burdock leaves make a tasty addition to soups and stews. So superstitious folk won't allow burdock into their homes as it's believed to bring bad luck. Another herbal remedy for sore throats that doesn't work. Oh well, let's see what it looks like at least. Hibiscus flower is crushed into a paste to cure coughs and sore throats. This author can attest that the supposed cure does not work. Good work. Let's do Lyle of Neptune now. That was the Truthsayer. This plant will force a person to tell the truth when eaten. Sparsely petaled flower gives off a strong scent. What do I have left? Do I have this flower? I might not. Let's try it. Let's go travel real quick. We have a thing here to do. This is going to line up with something on the map for sure. That doesn't line up with anything. If these are towns, that's a mountain. No. Fairfield Peak? No, too tall. Too high up. Oh, that's not quite right. That's too high up. It could be wrong that that's a mountain, but the mountains are marked with little triangles, and these are circles, so it seems likely. I just have to figure out which one. Could be. No, that's directly underneath. Can't be Blackcoon. There's not another city down there. No. Hmm. Okay. Maybe it's Whitbarrow. So if that's the mountain, and then two down, one over is Methop, and one and one Arnside. So that means one, two. Should we hit it? Sun is low in the sky. I'm tired after a long day. I've earned this. All right, is that Lyle of Neptune? It's gotta be. Carnivorous tauren. No, well, that's going to be this carnivorous plant. Known in the north as Andrew's Bane, after the unfortunate demise of a man called Andrew Jardine, he was caught and slowly eaten alive by a large specimen of the tauren. Revered in the occult world, a cross section of the tauren stem reveals pentagonal symmetry. It's the only carnivorous plant. Prittle. Check marks. Prittle, coveted by the rich, pretty Prittle is crushed to make dyes. Well, that's going to be this one. Very rare plant that is hard to come by and requires great care to cultivate. That seems to be all of them. You know, I think you've earned the right to call yourself an experienced horticulturist. Big cat. What happens now? We're done. That's Strange Horticulture, everybody. Took us a little bit about an hour to finish it there. So I'll have to come up with a new game for my Monday evenings. I don't know. I'm gonna start playing Octopath Traveler on Sundays, along with continuing my Rogue Legacy 2 streams. I will think about what's next. Maybe another small, weird game like this. We'll see. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a lovely evening.